Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Koki Creative. My name is Elena and I'm a part of the EA Creator Network. Today we are doing a speed build and this is a little bistro, mom and pop Italian restaurant that's in Magnolia Promenade. You might not know this neighborhood just because it gets lost in all of the worlds that we have. This one comes with the Get to Work pack, and it's one of the one of the first expansion packs, excuse me. I think the first pack that came out was a game pack, actually, outdoor living, but this is the first fleshed out expansion pack. So I'm saying this because don't have your expectations too high for this world. It's only 4 lots. I always forget about it. You might have this pack and you might always forget about it. But there's a good opportunity in that, actually, because you can change these lot types to anything you want. So you can turn this to a neighborhood if you want with people living there, or you can turn this into a place where there's a ton of restaurants. So I'm trying to focus on Magnolia Promenade in my world right now because I want to change it to an actual functional world, because not gonna lie, my Sims don't go shopping that often, and I have owned businesses a couple of times, but I just have them within the world. So let's get into this build. I made this right after the Cozy Bistro kit came out, so I was playing around with all the new items, and this was my first time even checking them out. So I'm still learning that kit. I also am using Dine Out and Get to Work. So Get to Work expansion pack, Dine Out game pack, and then the kit. So not too many. I wanted to make sure I kept it kind of easy, but I needed the Dine Out pack because I wanted it to be a full restaurant. So it is Italian, and I did set the menu and everything, but I just kept it basic. So when you are building a restaurant, you can set the outfits and the menu. Sometimes if I build a very themed restaurant, I built this like alien ship restaurant one time, and I had like the hostesses wear, what do they call, like space suits, astronaut suits, and I had some other weird outfits for the servers. So you can have fun with that if you want, but I kept this one very basic. It's on a 20 by 20 lot, so it's pretty small. It's called the Promenade Bistro, named after the world that it's in. And what else to say about it? It's 84,000 simoleons. There's 2 bathrooms. There is an upstairs and downstairs. The downstairs has like the main dining area. The upstairs is a little bit more loungy, like it has a bar, it has a couple of tabletops, and it has live music. So I went with a very red look because when I'm thinking of like classic bistro, I'm usually thinking of like red. I love those new awnings that we have, so I had to use those. We do have awnings very similar to that from other packs, but I'd like that this one just looks a little bit more like it was made in 2024 rather than like made in 2014. So it just looks really nice. I also had to add spandrels. Pretty sure that's what those are called. They're like the little trim detail under the roof. So I have to be very honest with you. I was not in the mood to build this. And when I'm not in the mood to build, I don't always do my best job. And I'm not saying this looks bad. It's just a little boxy. I wish I would have been a little bit more creative, but I did try to like make it pop with the red and white. And I was going to originally use a very red brick for the exterior, but when I used this whitewash brick, it just made the red pop a little bit more, and that's what I was looking for. Something that kind of caught your eye, but wasn't like over the top. So I built this when my dad was in the hospital. So I was in the hospital room while building this. I had a nice little view. So what I'm trying to say is I just wasn't like in the mindset to build something, especially when I get a new pack. I've talked about this before, but when I get a new pack, I still have to learn those items, and I'm not really in the mood to build something big with it yet. I kind of have to discover everything for myself, and I'm learning a lot about ADHD right now and pathological demand avoidance, and that plays a big role in, hey, this pack came out, you should build something that theme, and my mind goes, I will build anything except for that theme. So I tried my best with this restaurant. I don't think it's bad, and I think it's perfectly fine. I'm even going to keep it in all my like personal games and stuff. It's just as far as like things that I know that I'm capable of, I wouldn't say that I would put this one, like I wouldn't show this one off if I was trying to show my best work. Okay, so I mean that's really not a good intro to this YouTube video. You're like, I don't know if I should keep watching this. No, I do some cute things. Okay, so let's talk about this little host stand. I put a different whitewash brick on this back wall. I'm pretty sure that one is from Dine. It has a little bit more red, and I wanted more red on the interior. And oh my god, this is gonna change like every so often. I'm pretty sure I keep most of the stuff in this video because I really don't do too much. But like I said, I was also in the hospital with my dad when I built this, so I kind of was like pausing a lot and talking and coming back to it. So if it seems a little choppy, I do apologize. I'm back home now. My dad is cancer-free, wonderful, and he's back home and getting better. So now I'm like trying to figure out, because restaurants are so hard for me. I don't want them to be one giant room, because I know when I walk into restaurants that are just one giant room, it feels very cafeteria to me. I like restaurants that feel a little bit more cozy, that focus on overhead lighting. I know there are other people out there that totally get this. Lighting in restaurants are huge. Okay, so I wanted to make this feel a little bit more romantic. So here I'm just getting all the clutter that I want for this top shelf. That wall was looking a little bit plain to me, and since it's a restaurant, so I don't have to add like bedrooms and a ton of bathrooms and a ton of detail because people aren't living here. I figured I'll take some time to just add a little bit more personality into this build. I usually come up with like an idea of who owns this, or like sometimes even make the Sims. I didn't do that for this build, so as I'm watching it, I can kind of picture like it's an older couple that run this place. Maybe they have their family involved, like their kids work in the kitchen kind of thing. But maybe you have a different storyline in mind. That's all great. I don't play as a restaurant owner that often, even though I have Dine Out. But it's something I do want to do. I know it's super glitchy, but Dine Out for me is just, I love having restaurants in my neighborhood. It's not super glitchy if you just go visit it or anything. Like, your Sims will get up in the middle of the meal and start talking to other tables. And I'm like, just sit down. Just stay right there, please. And stop flirting. Oh my gosh. You know when like someone comes up to your table and you're on a date in The Sims, and I already had a flirty choice coming up, and then all of a sudden it's an awkward conversation, and then everyone is just awkward, and it's like, can you please leave me alone? I'm trying to take my Sim on a date. But anyway, there is the just go away option now, so I do use that a lot. But sometimes it's like you get a group of 20 people and they're all chatting. It's like, come on, I am trying to build a relationship with this person. So anyway, downstairs I wanted to use the new booth. I'm a booth girly. I don't know about any of you guys, but I love a booth. If I will wait extra time in a restaurant for a booth, I'm there to be comfortable. So I did want to add a booth. It's kind of weird that there is only one booth, but I'm sure that exists in some restaurants. Maybe, you know, they don't have the room for a ton, but that is like the comfy seat back there. Maybe that's like the party seat. You book that in advance. I don't know. I'm just coming up with rules here. But that's why I added the booth, because I would just want to have the new stuff for the new pack. And the new tables, super cute. Love that. Like, I know that pattern has an actual name, but I just call it like picnic table or picnic blanket checkered pattern. I think it's adorable. And here I go, adding the nice overhead lighting. Try not to make it too crazy. The kitchen, before I get in there, I'll just tell you about the flooring. Love this new flooring. There is one flooring, I believe, yeah, it's only one, that comes with the kit, and it has a lot of different swatches. I'm using like the red burgundy swatch here, but there is like other color palettes. I might actually, it's been a while since I've looked at this build. I'm pretty sure I changed the wall color to a darker color, which I do end up really liking. It becomes a little bit more like noir feel to it, and I am loving that. Oh, and then this is the back. So the stairs were really tricky for some reason. Well, not for some reason, because stairs take up a lot of space, and where are you going to put those? So I added a little bump out in the back for people to use the stairs. There is also a rooftop deck, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Here's the little tiny kitchen. You don't need much in this kitchen. I just put the Dine Out stuff and just your basic kitchen necessities. There's no reason to clutter up too much because it's supposed to be nice and clean. It's a commercial kitchen, but I did still add some like spices and just your typical stuff. I didn't want it to be like too empty. I wanted to have a little bit of personality. I have to say, Dine Out has some of my favorite kitchen clutter, which makes sense because it's Dine Out. It's about food. It's about kitchens. But I love these little jars with what I imagine peppers are in it. I didn't read the description, honestly, but I'm just assuming. And then we have these little spice jars also. I'm using the red shelf to help me put stuff on counters and on surfaces. You probably noticed I use it a couple times throughout this video. If you want to download it, it's in the description box below, so you can check that out. But it is just a handy tool. You don't need it, but it just makes things a little bit easier. So here is what I was talking about earlier. I changed the color of the walls to a little bit darker swatch. The same wall paper that I was using before, just a different swatch, so it does come with a new pack. I really, really love this one because it has like a bit of a gold trim. It has like black beadboard and then some wallpaper. And it has a whole bunch, like I said, a couple of different swatches, all matching the floor tile as well. But I just love this dark one. I'm a big fan of like dark builds, so that's one reason why I liked it. This is me messing around with the upstairs. If you remember what I said earlier, this is where the bar and the live music is, so that is coming soon. I did have to add windows because I didn't add windows before. Like, I usually do the same process for building something. I finish the exterior, move into the interior and do it that way. I just kind of kept out the windows for a while because I just was going to deal with them later. I have those roof pieces on the side. These slender windows that are base game work and fit pretty well. So live music, all there is a violin and a microphone. So, I mean, I figured violin is kind of romantic, so that's why I added that one. And just a ton of little pops of red. I also like that the violin has this red tone to it, so I thought that was really pretty. Behind the bar, I did add a couple of like the new items, and unfortunately I didn't have enough space to add that bigger bar back that I wanted to do, but I figured this is good enough, and some natural light coming in is always really pretty. This bar comes with the new pack as well. It's 4 tiles long, and I mean, we have 1,000 bars, but I'm always happy to get some new bars because sometimes I'm looking for a very, very specific style and they do not have it. This one is really good for like this style. And yeah, we do kind of have some other bars that are very similar to that one, but you know what, whatever. We always get new bars. So little bathrooms, I didn't do much, but I was really feeling this tile downstairs in the kitchen, but it was a little bit too much. So I brought that upstairs into the bathroom so I could still use that base game tile. So I'm going to just finish it downstairs with a couple other new things I found in the pack. That shelf right there is new with the new pack. I think it's really cute. Do love new shelves. And this one is just kind of simple. It's a little bit more dressed up than the immaculate shelf that's base game. We also have this new mirror, which I really like. And I know it's not really just supposed to be a mirror that's just sitting there. It really is a mirror for the back of a bar or something. But I just thought, well, I have open space right there and a whole new kit to play around with, so I might as well just throw that mirror right in there. So we're moving on to the upstairs. And not just the upstairs, but the rooftop deck. And this is probably my favorite part of the build. I love adding rooftop decks, and when I'm looking at a build, looking at it from above, it just feels like it has this whole extra living space you can play around with. And I didn't add anything extra up here because I figured you can go order your drink from the second story and then walk on up to here, bring it here. It's kind of loungy. Maybe you can throw a little party here. When I throw parties, I do like to go to community lots sometimes because they have a little bit more activities for my Sims to have fun and play around with and stuff like that. I love house parties too, but I feel like this is a good spot for a good little party. And I had this like weird awkward space in the back, so why not add some plants back there? So I added a foundation, brought it up on a platform, and I used green floor paint that is technically grass, so then I can just add my landscaping in here. I just think it's a nice little pop of green, especially against red. I don't usually like red and green together unless if that green is like plants and stuff, only because it reminds me of Christmas. Unless if it is Christmas time, I do like red and green together. But anyway, I'm about to finish up this video, so let me wrap things up. Thank you all for watching today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, maybe leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you really, really like this video, maybe subscribe, because I would really, really appreciate that. But anyway, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!